Hey everyone, we've got a major situation developing right now that you need to know about. A coin just completely crashed to zero, and honestly, I think we might be looking at the absolute bottom here. That's exactly what I'm betting on in the next few minutes. But here's the thing. If I'm wrong about this, XRP could drop below $2, which would be massive. We're literally at a make-or-break moment right now, and I want to make sure you're aware of what's happening. Now, one of the big reasons we saw this dump today? Jim Cramer. Yeah, you heard that right. And speaking of important updates, confirmed us that Bitcoin is heading to zero. All right, let's jump right into it. There are some really interesting patterns and connections happening right now that I'm excited to share with you. Hey everyone, I hope you're all having an absolutely amazing day. So, XRP is sitting at around $2.34 as we speak. And yes, we're seeing a pretty significant drop right now. But here's the thing. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. Why? Because I'm looking to pick up some more XRP at these levels. Now you're probably wondering, why did we see this dump in the first place? Well, let me break that down for you.
Okay, this is absolutely wild. So this morning, Jim Cramer drops a tweet, and the moment I saw it, I literally thought to myself, yep, here comes the dump. It was so predictable. Here's what happened. Crypto was actually set up for a nice push upward today. Everything was pointing in that direction, but instead, we got the complete opposite. We pushed straight down and it wasn't even close. So when exactly did Cramer post this tweet that basically called our fate? About 11 hours ago. Let me show you exactly what he said. So for XRP specifically, we're looking at around $2.40 as our target level. And this is exactly why I'm getting ready to make my move and buy some more XRP very soon. This setup is just too good to pass up, and I'll walk you through exactly why this price point makes so much sense for an entry. Here's the critical part. If XRP can't hold that $2.30 support level, we're looking at a potential drop all the way below $2, and that's a scenario we definitely want to avoid. Let me break this down for you because the margin for error here is really tight, and timing is everything. But before we dive deep into the analysis, if you're finding this helpful, please smash that like button and share this with anyone who needs to see it. Now check this out. This is the crypto dominance chart, and I want you to take a close look at what's happening here. Do you see it? Look at how liquidity is building up on the upside. This is huge because if this breaks above that previous wick, XRP is absolutely going to rocket past $2. And here's why. Once it breaks through, it's not going to just stop there. It's going to chase all that liquidity sitting above us. But here's the interesting part. Even if this chart gets rejected right here and can't break through this level, that's actually not a bad thing. Why? Because they're just going to come back for this liquidity later. Maybe not today, maybe not this week, but definitely in the coming weeks or months. Think about it this way. If they dump it from here, they're essentially setting up for a bigger move later when they finally do come for that upside liquidity. Which means cryptos overall should be. So if that's the case, we should see crypto bottoming out really soon, and that's exactly what I'm betting on. For XRP specifically, I'm planning to buy some very soon. Not right this second, but I'm getting ready to make my move. And honestly, I'm hoping it doesn't shoot up before I get my chance. Here's what needs to happen for this setup to work. We need XRP to stay below that previous wick level. In other words, XRP needs to hold support right in this region I'm showing you. This is the sweet spot. But here's the critical part. If it breaks below this support zone, we're in trouble. We could see XRP drop all the way down to $2, or even lower than that. That's exactly why my timing has to be perfect when I buy this XRP. And the beautiful thing is, it's actually pretty easy to tell whether we're going to see more downside or not. We're getting close to that critical moment, so let's see how this plays out. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't mind seeing just a tiny bit more of a dip here, just a little more. But what we're seeing right now is absolutely fantastic, and here's why. Everyone on Twitter is completely bearish right now. I mean, the fear is everywhere. But while everyone's panicking, guess what just happened? BlackRock just scooped up $25 million worth of Bitcoin and $40 million worth of Ethereum. This was either today or yesterday, but the timing is incredible. You know what they say, when retail is fearful, the big money moves in. But here's what really matters. They're buying the dip, and that's huge. Think about this for a second. This means BlackRock's clients are actually bullish right now, even while we're seeing all this red in the market. While everyone else is panicking and selling, the smart money is quietly accumulating. That's a pretty strong signal if you ask me. Keep that information in your back pocket. It's going to be important later. Now, here's something really exciting from the XRP community. This is a code white message, and it's pretty interesting stuff from Mr. Poole. The message reads, BlackRock has answered the game as requested. Message ends. Now, I'm really hoping this means they're going to announce an XRP ETF soon. The timing here is fascinating because this message is dated for after tomorrow. So my guess is we might hear something as early as today. Prophecy from Big Short 1022. The prophecy. What prophecy? Right. Well, this coin just simply died. Look at this. Wait, hold up. New Kadena just dropped a bombshell announcement. They said, and I quote, "We regret to announce that the Kadena organization is no longer able to continue business operations and will be ceasing all business activity and active maintenance of the Kadena blockchain immediately." What? So this coin literally just died overnight. But wait, what even was this project? Let me pull up the price chart real quick because this is about to get wild. Oh my God, look at this. The coin absolutely crashed to zero. This is exactly what happens when a project just gives up. Can you believe this? This coin was once trading at $22, and now it's sitting at just 7 cents. Whew, this is exactly what I've been warning you about, guys. I told you we'd start seeing coins completely collapse, and here we are, watching one go to zero right before our eyes. Look at this chart. It's absolutely brutal. But remember, you heard it here first from B23. I called this market behavior, and unfortunately, this is just the beginning. All these altcoins are basically going to become sacrificial lambs in this market. And guess where all that liquidity is going to flow? Straight into XRP. It's really that simple. It's like a massive wealth transfer happening right before our eyes. And eventually, even Bitcoin is going to face this same fate. Why? Well, Tucker Carlson just came out and said he doesn't invest in Bitcoin because he believes the CIA created it. And you know what? We've been saying this all along. We called this connection way before it became mainstream news. Now we're getting confirmation like never before. And it's pretty wild to see it all coming together.
That's true, but I fear that it will become, like so many other things in our country, a scam of sorts, run by a coalition of the financial beneficiaries, like a few people who are getting all the winnings, and the politicians they control who use it to further their control of American society. I'm really worried about that.
Here we go. This is going to expose the biggest scam in crypto history, and it absolutely is a scam. Look at this picture. It literally shows you everything you need to know. See those manipulated hands? That invisible hand controlling Bitcoin's price movements? This is the smoking gun right here. And here's the thing. This manipulation keeps working perfectly until the moment it all collapses. That's why I'm honestly confused about why people are even bearish right now when the writing is on the wall. But remember who's really behind this. We're talking about the CIA, the NSA, three-letter agencies in America pulling the strings. This invisible hand is going to destroy Bitcoin when the timing is right. Tucker Carlson is calling this out, and it's about time someone with his platform spoke up about it.
And so I'll just be totally blunt with you. I'm a gold buyer, and I've been vindicated big time in that. And everyone's like, oh, you're crazy, buying gold. Yeah. You know, it was good enough for the Phoenicians. It's good enough for me. And I, in general, don't get involved in anything I don't understand. I think that's a really good rule. There's some things I think I understand. Turns out I didn't understand them. But in general, I try to limit myself to things I understand.
Tucker's approach is smart. He limits himself to things he actually understands. And clearly he does understand Bitcoin because he's calling it exactly what it is, a scam. He's absolutely right about that. But here's what's interesting. Tucker is a gold buyer. Should we dive deep into that in the next video? I think we definitely should. And you know what? There's something to be said for gold. It's been here forever, and it's not going anywhere. When you look at thousands of years of track record, that's some serious staying power. The past really does give us clues about the future, and gold has proven itself time and time again.
And nobody can explain to me who Satoshi was, the creator of Bitcoin, this mysterious guy who apparently died, but nobody knows who he was. I grew up in D.C. primarily in a government family, so CIA.
Oh, wow, look at this! Big Short is at it again with another prediction that's aging like fine wine. This was posted back on March 28, 2024. The message was crystal clear. Government trap. NSA equals BTC view. He called it exactly what it was, a government trap from day one. And you know what? He told everyone, don't say we didn't warn you. But here's the smart play he suggested. Stay bullish and ride the wave until the inevitable collapse happens. That's some next-level strategic thinking right there. Recognize the trap, but play the game until the music stops.
That's my guess. Can't prove it, but you're telling me to invest in something whose founder is mysterious and has billions of dollars of unused Bitcoin. What is that? And no one can answer the question, including some of the biggest holders of Bitcoin in the world. Do I know personally? They're like, oh, it doesn't matter. It matters to me, right?
That's actually a brilliant strategy, and here's why it matters so much. When the founder decides to dump his entire stack, do you know what's going to happen to Bitcoin? The liquidity is going to completely vanish. Bitcoin already has pretty thin liquidity as it is, but imagine if the founder sells his entire position all at once. We're talking about an absolute bloodbath, straight down to zero. And that's exactly when I'm backing up the truck and buying everything I can get my hands on. I'm really hoping that scenario plays out because that would be the ultimate buying opportunity. Now, this is absolutely massive news. Whew! The $10 billion hyperunit whale just doubled down on shorting Bitcoin. Let me put this in perspective for you. This is the same whale who made $200 million shorting during the China tariff crash. Remember that Blackstone event that completely liquidated everyone? Yeah, that was him calling it perfectly. And now he's doubling down on his Bitcoin short position. This is huge. Think about it. The guy who absolutely nailed the last major crash is now betting even harder against Bitcoin. That tells me he sees something much worse coming down the pipeline. When smart money moves like this, you better pay attention. He's betting that Bitcoin is going to crash hard very soon. But here's the interesting part. His liquidation level is sitting at $123,000. Do you know what that means? Let me show you something incredible. Look at all these sell orders. He's absolutely loaded up on shorts. I mean, look at that wall of red. This is an absolutely insane amount of short positions. But with his liquidation at $123,000, here's the million-dollar question. Is it time for the market makers to hunt him down and force a liquidation? We're about to find out. And this chart is going to tell us everything we need to know. This chart is going to tell us everything. Here's the key level we need to watch. Bitcoin absolutely cannot break above this previous wick. If it does, it's game over. And that whale's massive short position is toast. But here's where it gets really interesting. If we somehow stay below this wick level, maybe somewhere around here, then we've got a completely different scenario playing out. If we hold below, that creates a liquidity pool. And guess what happens next? The market makers are going to drive this thing straight down to hunt for stops and liquidations. And when that happens, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, everything is going to absolutely explode to the upside. They're definitely going after those liquidation levels, which means Bitcoin could easily rocket up to $123,000 to hit that liquidation target. So here's the moment of truth. Are the market makers going to hunt down that whale or not? Let's watch this unfold because it's officially whale hunting season. And speaking of perfect timing, check out this update from Cointelegraph. XRP crosses $2.50 after retail capitulated below $1.90, signaling peak fear and a classic contrarian buy opportunity playing out. Do you see what's happening here? This is textbook market psychology in action. So, we're seeing the lowest ratio of positive versus negative XRP comments since late January. And you know what that typically means? It's a classic buy signal. Everyone is absolutely bearish right now, and that's exactly when the smart money starts moving in. When sentiment is this bad, that's usually your cue that we're close to a bottom. We're about to find out if this storm continues or if the sun is finally about to break through the clouds. It all comes down to what happens with the liquidity on our chart. But I've got this really strong gut feeling that there's going to be some major news that triggers XRP's next price explosion. And speaking of explosive news, check this out. This is absolutely massive. Ripple and Larson's $350 million XRP holdings are completely separate from the $1 billion cash that was just raised to buy XRP through Evernorth. Let me break down this billion-dollar buying spree for you.
$200 million from SBI, $200 million optionally from Ripple, $600 million from public investors. And here's the kicker. All of this money will be used to purchase XRP within just 10 days of receiving the funds. I've been telling you this is basically an indirect XRP ETF. We've got our own MicroStrategy situation happening here. Just like Michael Saylor aggressively buying Bitcoin, now we have Evernorth doing the same thing for XRP. We're literally going to the moon, hopefully very soon. And honestly, I think we absolutely will. We're at that critical moment where we're about to find out if we've hit the bottom or not. My gut says we have, and hopefully I'm right about this one. The setup is really straightforward when you break it down. Now, let's dive into some fascinating connections with the Riddlers and see if they back up what we're discovering here. We've got some interesting alignment from Esoteric King today, specifically around October 22nd, which lines up perfectly with today's date. This alignment is interesting. I'm hoping we're synced up with Aladdin's predictions here. We've got 10/22 showing up again, and it's pointing to some kind of major impact event, like a meteor hitting Earth or some massive explosion happening globally. Let's see how this translates to what we're seeing in the price charts, and if this alignment actually plays out in the markets. 10/22, and look at this! There's a rocket ship heading straight to the moon. And guess what? That's today's date. But here's where it gets really interesting. Check out the moon phase tonight. We've got the same waxing crescent that appears in Mr. Pool's Delta from October 22nd. Look at that. It's literally the exact same phase of the moon. I mean, the synchronicity here is absolutely mind-blowing. I really hope we truly bottom out here and finally head to the moon. We're going to find out very soon. Now here's something fascinating. Mr. Pool's very first post was on October 23rd, 2019. That's tomorrow. This was literally where it all began for Mr. Pool, and the message is pretty cryptic. The time is near, as clocks strike 1:05. The question is, will you be here right on time? As the worlds collide. The timing of this being his first post, right around our current date, is pretty incredible. It's like everything is coming full circle. You'll witness a completely new era being born. A new world that will hit you like a dream, where cash becomes something you never imagined it could be. Believe in XRP. He literally said believe in XRP in his very first post. And right now, when a lot of people are losing faith, we need to remember that message. The beginning and the end, October 23rd. Here's something wild. Mr. Pool is going to confirm that he's BG123 through some kind of Photoshop revelation. So tomorrow, we lock in our answer. I'm telling you, we're going to find out if we've hit the bottom or not, literally any day now. Here's what you need to watch. If we break above that previous wick on the chart, we're not bottoming. XRP could drop to $2 or lower. But if we are bottoming, we'll stay right in this region. And the timing is absolutely fascinating because tomorrow, October 23rd, Mr. Pool told us to watch this exact time frame, from October 23rd, Scorpio season, all the way to November 21st. That's when XRP pumps. Today's date, October 22nd, his message was, duck and cover, prepare, stay safe, be ready.